Hey, it's Clay, and this will be a video chart on ticker symbol MYSZ. We will take a look at the 30-minute time frame. Real quick, what do I mean by 30-minute in case maybe you're new to charts? Instead of each one of these candlesticks here representing 1 day's worth of price action, which is what you would normally see, each one represents 30 minutes. So while this here may look like several days worth of time, it's actually today's price action broken down into 30-minute time slices. I'll let you this time frame, and it's a good job of telling the quote-unquote story of the price, and then makes mapping out levels of support and resistance a bit easier to see. Now, this chart is pretty tricky because it made a great move, yes, but then it had a big pullback, but the overall chart is still in an uptrend, so it's pretty sketchy. And what I want to do is just kind of focus on one area, and that's going to help kind of determine just what exactly is going on as far as is this chart bullish or is this chart bearish. And this level is right here at the purple line, which is the famous 50-period simple moving average. And the reason this is important, and 90 cents is its value, is let's take a look at a couple different instances. So let's say that the price actually breaks below here and then continues on to the downside. What would you have in this situation? You would literally have the price right back into this area of the chart where it already was. And not to insult your intelligence, but price movements that go back to where they were, not exactly a sign of true strength. So in that situation, that would be borderline a pump and dump because, the price has made a really nice move. And now if the price has gone back to where it all started in a relatively short amount of time, which would only be a couple of days, then yeah, that's essentially, as far as price action is concerned, a pump and dump. Now, I'm not saying that will happen, and that hasn't happened. Now let's look at the other side of what could potentially occur. So let's say the price actually now, it's pulled back obviously, but now in this situation, does something like this where it bounces back upwards. Well, now what would you have in this circumstance? Well, you'd have a set of lows here, you'd have lows there, you'd have lows right there. If you picture these as stair steps, well, hey, now you have overall stair steps progressing in the upwards direction. And in that situation, progress is associated with something that is bullish, right? So that's why it's almost like that 90-cent mark is kind of like the vocabulary definer. Are we defining the vocabulary as going back to where it was, or are we defining it as making progress forward? Obviously, if it goes back, that vocabulary, bearish. If it's making progress, then that vocabulary would be bearish. So if you haven't connected those dots, 90 cents, definitely a very important level going forward, and that'll be the level to keep an eye on, and that'll help dictate and kind of the confusion, because I'll be honest, this is a confusing chart when a price makes a great move, and then all of a sudden it's right back to almost where it started, but it hasn't quite gone back to where it started. So yeah, let's see how the price reacts around 90 cents and if that can hold or not. One of the biggest questions that I get is, hey Clay, how do you find the stocks that you trade? So what I've done is put together a free resource guide where I talk about the tools that I use to locate stocks that I find interesting and think may have potential. So if that sounds like something that could add value to you as a trader, then click on the image that is up on the screen right now and I will email you the guide. The guide itself is very short and to the point, and best part, it's completely free. Thanks for watching the video. Let me know if you have any questions.